Right, let's get our hands dirty, and that, of course, means FIFA. We should start at the top, if in fact that is still the top of football. I suppose it's the world governing body, Gary. You, like many others, have had one or two things to say via the app and obviously elsewhere. You could get depressed, couldn't you, thinking too much about what's gone on in the last week?
Well, I do get depressed. It's a terribly sad situation. I think it's nauseating that a game as great as ours, that so many people right around the world care about so deeply, that it's run by a bunch of shenanigans, and it's clearly corrupt. We've already had lots of people not just indicted but arrested and thrown out of FIFA, etc., etc., and it just keeps going. And I suppose there's every chance that it'll end up right at the top.
There was a moment, wasn't there, or perhaps an hour or two last week, where everyone got hopeful about the possibility of change and renewal.
Yeah, but I think that's because, and Sepp Blatter is always so confident because he knows exactly what's happening with him. Everybody's thinking that something was going to change, and you know, Prince Ali and all that stuff. But when you look at how it did pan out, it's ridiculous in the end. You know what I mean? And now he's been voted in by such a margin as well. That just says to me he's got all the people that he needs locked off. So he's comfortable with everything what's going on, and he's there for 4 years, and no one could do anything about it. With everything what's gone on, it seems just so wrong.
Do we have to accept the status quo, do you think, Phil? Is it just a fait accompli? There's been talk of boycotts and UEFA-led breakaways.
I've seen I don't think there'll be boycotts, because I think if sponsors pull out, there'll be other sponsors that go in. I think if, from a player's point of view, and that's what I've looked at for the last week, I don't think players actually will probably take care of what's actually been going on, because as players you want to go to the World Cup. So is a player going to say, I'm not going to a World Cup because you're going to be backed by the rest of the European or the world nations? I don't think that will be the case. Supporters want to go, so a supporter's going to boycott it. So it's a situation where it's actually government level. This is above and beyond actual players and supporters. This goes beyond that. So it's not a nice situation, and it's something that I think UEFA and have got to fight hard for. But I think it's a battle maybe that we can't win, because he's so powerful. You saw by his speech at the end, he was so confident and cocky that he said trust and confidence. Well, we don't have trust or confidence in him, but he seems to have it in himself.
Do you share that sense of disillusionment, Rob?
Yeah, I agree with the lads. What more can I say on that, really? I think
there are two ways it can change, too. One is if Blatter gets indicted along with the rest, then things would substantially change. Yeah. And the other is if the major federations of world football got together and said, actually, we've had enough of this. Yeah. Now, whether that'll happen or not, I'd rather doubt, but you've got UEFA rebelling. So possibly if you could get some of the big nations of European football and add to that, certainly the Americans would join in, and from the other side maybe Australia, and then if you could get one or two of the big South Americans, then all of a sudden you can go, we'll do our own, we'll start again.
It's all the people that have had bids, so it's all like sour grapes. This is what they're saying. It's all sour grapes, because it is the people.
Grapes, is it? It's just corruption. So
it's one of those that how do you get by it then? He's still in there.
Yeah. When we read in the last couple of days that France, Spain, and perhaps less surprisingly Russia all voted for Blatter in that election, you wonder about how cohesive the European countries could be.
It's Platini, and he comes out and makes a statement saying he's against FIFA, and his nation is actually voting for FIFA, for Sepp Blatter. So it worries you a little bit. But I think I was on a show on Friday where an FBI agent was on there, and they said that the Americans aren't going to let go of this. They're going to go right from the bottom right to the very top. So you hope that eventually you build up a crescendo and you indict him, and hopefully he'll be got rid of.
Do you remain optimistic of even a possibility that this could come good in the end? Because I've kind of lost hope a little bit in the last couple of days.
No, I don't think so. I mean, you're getting to a stage where 7 of them were indicted, taken away. And they were the 7 pretty much just below Blatter. So, this is a serious situation, which will take time, I'm sure, with the investigations that will be ongoing. So, I've certainly not lost hope. I always knew Blatter was going to win this election. That was an absolute no-brainer. That was always going to happen. That's kind of a relevant side. This is a longer, ongoing thing, and the trail could lead to him in the end. One of them might squeal as well, of course.
Yeah.